Hi everyone, I have something really special for you today. It is a mini update that we've worked on for the Dailies Guide, and today we're going to give this away for free. This and the free gold guides that you have received lately in our newsletter is just our way of saying thank you for supporting us and being our subscriber. We've enjoyed a tremendous amount of success this year and we couldn't have done it without you. About the guide, to sum it up, it is essentially a vendor run guide, where all you have to do is follow the guide and go from one NPC vendor to another and buy their stuff to resell it later at the auction house. So this is really not a new concept. I know a lot of people have been doing this for years, but most people tend to stick to the popular areas such as Booty Bay, and they would have to either memorize the route that they take or use pen and paper or whatever. Well, we decided to take it to the next level and create a guide that will take you from one vendor to another without getting lost along the way, and this will cover the entire Azeroth map. So as far as I know, there are no other guides like this. Even though this is a small and simple guide, it's actually a very powerful way to make gold, because here are the pros. You can make 400 gold or more per hour. Now that is actually a pretty good rate even for a level 80 player. And here are the best part about it. There's no gameplay skill required, so you don't even need to be good at the game to make this much gold. You don't have to kill any monsters, you don't have to worry about PvP, you can even get your little brother or sister to do this run for you. You don't even need any auction house skills. You don't have to have any knowledge about the market to make a profit. Our goal here is to sell most of the recipes around 10 to 20 gold or more. And I will show you at the end of this video just how easy it is to sell them. You don't need to have any professional skills either to make gold using this technique, because a lot of gold making techniques out there require certain professions to work. Well, not this one. And lobbies as low as level 40 can do it. Can you imagine your first level 40 character earning 400 gold per hour? That is a lot of gold for a low level character. But there is some downside to this technique. You will need a lot of bag space for this, as you're going to get swamped with all these recipes, and they don't stack because they're all different, so it can be a pain to manage all these items. You can counter this, however, by mailing the items to your auction house, and just like any other gold making techniques, if everyone on the server does it, it will be less effective, so this will depend on your server as well. High population server will generally give better and more stable result. So once you update your guide, you should find the vendor run guide in the dailies and events tab. It is listed around the bottom under vendor run. Before I begin, I do recommend you have as many bag space as you can. I recommend at least 20 bag space. You will come across a lot of mailbox and you can mail it to your alt later. If you don't have any alt, then I recommend you create one, because even if your alt doesn't have any bag space, all the item will still exist in the mailbox. You just don't have to pick it up. You can simply get your alt to return your mail when you do have space in your main character. So let me fast forward this video and give you a quick demo of the guide. Just pay attention to the stopwatch and not the clock, because I did have to pause this run a few times before because I wasn't able to complete this run without any interruption. Most of the recipes cost silvers and coppers, and some of the most expensive one costing only a couple of gold. You will be able to sell these recipes for around 10 to 20 gold on average, and some limited supply recipes can be sold for 50 gold, which is pretty amazing. You may think that this is stupid, and why would anyone buy a recipe for 10 gold when it would have cost them only 1 silver to buy? Well, my theory is that most players are not stupid. They know they can get it cheaper if they make the trip, but it's just that a lot of these players are too lazy to get it themselves. So essentially what they're paying for is the delivery fee for you to get it for them, because all that traveling for them is not worth their time, and they'd much rather pay the 10 to 20 gold delivery fee. But for us, since we're maximizing our trip by picking up a lot of other stuff along the way, we're really making our trip worthwhile, and that's why we're making a lot of gold from doing this. If you have an enchanter, you can also buy a green quality item to disenchant and sell, and that's guaranteed profit right there. And you can also buy some random limited supply items, and we can easily resell those as well for a little bit of profit. I recommend you have at least an epic ground mount, because that will reduce your time considerably to complete this run, and to get an epic ground mount you will need to be at least level 40. The guide assumed that you do have all the flight points as well, so if you don't have them, you will have to get them yourself. A level 40 character with an epic ground mount shouldn't have any problem doing this, as they can avoid the high level NPC easily with a mount. In this run, I'm only doing the Kalimdor area, so most players should be able to cover this area. We're coming to the end of the guide here in Ratchet, and as you can see in my backpack, it is full of recipes. I did send about 20 items to my alt. The total time for me to complete this run is about 1 hour and 28 minutes. I did some modification to the guide as I did this, so there was some bad routes and wasn't worth our time, so I think we can reduce this run by another 10 minutes or so. And the total cost for me to buy all these items and the cost of travel as well is about 100 gold. And now let me show you how to sell these items easily. First, I do recommend you have Auctioneer installed, and when you open up Auctioneer, you don't need to have a full scan or any database history. All you have to do is go to the Appraiser tab and you will see all the items listed on the left, and we just need a fresh listing of our competition. And to do this, just hold the Alt button and click refresh, and this will give you your current competition. Once that is completed, and to make this simple, just go to the post auction tab, and I'm using this because it is simpler to use and understand for new players. And my goal here is to sell the items for around 10 to 20 gold. And if there is competition, always undercut them so your one will sell sooner. So there'll be time that you will have to sell these recipe much lower than 10 gold, but hey, it's still not a loss because these recipe were extremely cheap for you to buy. Sometimes you'll see other items where people are listing them at ridiculously high price, like 100 gold or something. If you see that, you might be able to sell the same item for about 50 gold, because now your listing looks very cheap compared to them. And that does work sometimes, because I was able to sell 2 or 3 items around 50 gold. And that's all you have to do. I'm selling these items without doing any research of what I can really sell the item for, because I just want to prove to you that anyone could do this without any knowledge of the auction house market. So of course, if you're experienced with the auction house, I'll imagine you can make a lot more. This is the result after 1 day of auction, and I received about 271 gold and quite a few unsold items because I listed them at 24 hours by accident, so I will release these items again. If the item didn't sell the first time, try to relist them at a lower price. So first try 20 gold buyout, then 10 gold buyout, then 5 gold buyout, and if you can't still be bothered, 1 gold buyout. Otherwise, just vendor the item because it's costing you a bit of time relisting them. And on the following day, I received another 265 golds of sales, and I relist some of the items again. And on the 4th day, I collected another 263 gold. And so I made a total about 800 gold minus 100 gold costs. So the total profit is about 700 gold so far, or 460 gold per hour. So in conclusion, this is a